and gentlemen, welcome. It's a little late, but it's okay. Welcome to the NFL Monday Review.
Halloween's gone.
I had to stick with the Halloween theme because
Well, I mean, to be fair, it was Day of the Dead. And, wow.
Oh, it was a Day of the Dead, all right. So, Tampa Bay and the Giants. We expected the Giants to get
I just realised, wrong stadium. I mean, carrier bag's good, but it's mile high, baby.
Technical difficulties.
However,
that's the Hell in a Cell.
Let's go with Hell in a Cell.
Hell yeah. Let's see. Tom Brady versus Daniel Jones inside Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, that wouldn't last very long.
That wouldn't last very long at all.
Not really.
Not the way Tom spiked that fucking helmet into the bench.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I like how it took you so long to work out what the word bench was.
Fuck off. I was trying to think of a different word.
Butt scratcher.
All right, folks. So Tampa and the Giants. We expected the Giants to get absolutely mauled.
Not mauled. Bummed.
Either way, bummed, mauled, same thing. But it was not that result.
Are you all right? He said, you've been out of funny cigarettes again, haven't you? Oh, yeah, well, let me show you how it's done, ladies and gentlemen, in the take two. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the Sly Fox Sports podcast. Tonight, Monday Night Football, Tampa Bay, New York Giants. Was it a breeze? No, it wasn't. Tom Brady was put under serious duress by a New York Giants defense that actually bothered to turn up for the week. Jeremy, your thoughts?
My thoughts were, at the half, it was 14-6. It was ridiculous. I was like, wait a second. Who is this team and what have they done with the Giants? Daniel Jones was firing. Wayne Gallman scored a touchdown. Thank you, Fantasy League. And
I'm in fantasy.
I have Wayne Gallman in fantasy, yeah. Well, I have no good running backs. That's my problem.
Go and get Ronald Jones.
Why? He's the next version of Ezekiel Elliott.
He's doing all right. What are you talking about? He hasn't got nearly as much magnets in his face.
No, I'm talking about the way he likes to drop the ball on the 10-yard line.
Yeah, but he's still going to get plenty of yardage and plenty of carries.
And plus,
they seem to like the look of him. And Leonard Fournette seems quite injury prone. And while he's going to be like that, Ronald Jones is going to have an opportunity, which is why, there were some droppages in this game. Ultimately, the problem with this game is people are going to use this as an excuse. Say, see, told you Brady's too old. He's 43. Yeah, he's 43, mate, and he's still winning games. What did I say to you last week? This game comes down to what I have said since this podcast first started. IQ. Push the cat out of the way. Thank you. IQ. Whatever it is. Fucking Charmander. Jesus Christ. We run a professional ship here, ladies and gentlemen. Pokemon. Gotta catch them all. Fuck's sake. You know what? Ironically enough, that puppet right there probably has more sports presenting credentials than you do. Ultimately, this game comes down, like I've always said, IQ. One quarterback in Tom Brady, the most intelligent quarterback in the history of the NFL, versus Daniel Jones, who is the equivalent of a hopped-up teenager on orange juice. He had orange juice for the first couple of quarters. He looked great, and then he decided, hey, Ma, look when I throw the ball. I'm going to throw a me pick, man. And that's what happened. You know, he's not good. Daniel Jones is like, the commentary team, do they pay ESPN and fucking Fox Sports enormous amounts of money to suck the everlasting chud of these young quarterbacks? Because Daniel Jones, right, has clearly got the brains of the meat that I put out for the Fox at night. There's a Fox that roams around here, and I always put out some cooked meat for him every night. And, he's lovely, but he ain't going to play quarterback for the New York Giants, is he? And ultimately, Daniel Jones should be playing quarterback. He's not very good. Yeah, how many picks does this guy throw? Every game. Interception. No, Daniel, the idea is to score touchdowns. Interceptions get 6 points for the opposition, not for you. And the funny thing is, this is probably the worst game I've seen the Tampa Bay defense play. Still won the game. Brady actually played quite well. Made some very good throws. Made some clutch plays. Pluses from this game as well. I don't know why I'm getting texted at this time. It's fucking 1 a.m. Go away. Ultimately, Brady, right? Not only is he doing well, he's now starting to get that link up that he had at New England with Rob Gronkowski. Another touchdown. Consistently gaining place. And also, Rob Gronkowski asked to do a lot more in terms of blocking for that front line, which is what he's now starting to do. On the flip side of things, I have to say, the Giants defense actually played really well. They deserve a lot of credit. They got to Brady a couple of times. They worked hard. They worked really fucking hard. And if the really sad thing is, if the Giants had played like this from the start, they might have had a pretty good shout of taking this division because it's fucking AIDS is what it is. Nobody gives a shit about the NFC East.
I'm pretty sure that they lost their confidence when they lost Saquon Barkley.
Butt scratcher.
Butt scratcher, indeed.
Butt scratcher.
And that's why they have Wayne Gallman.
Yeah, but that's not good enough. That's not good enough. That's their problem right there. Who does Daniel Jones have for a weapon?
Golden Tate did pretty damn good this game.
Golden Tate? More like Golden Taint. Fucking, yeah, he's okay. He's all right. He's not a fucking premier wideout, though, is he?
Evan Ingram's pretty good.
He's had the best of Golden Tate, I think.
Yeah,
he's not as explosive unless he's got an offensive line that can create problems for their defense. He's not. They haven't. Golden Tate was the kind of player. He's very explosive, but he thrives on the ability to take single coverage. So, another wideout, for instance, Odell Beckham Jr., if he was still there, double coverage. All of a sudden, Golden Tate is running up stats like mad because he's open like crazy. Right now, He's the only premier-ish threat that they have. This is a bad team. Saquon Barkley is a elite running back. He went down with injury. That's no excuse. Next man up, please. Next man up, please.
You know what I think they should do? They should just take the Giants and the Jets. Take the Giants and the Jets, merge them together, and just
make one passable college franchise.
Don't even get
me started. This ain't the Jets, right? We've already spoken about the Jets. We've already done the Jets review, but I will happily go straight back in on Sam Darnold because I am ready for that. I love ripping them. Like, the Jets are not even a franchise, and the Giants are close to them. The only thing that stops me really laying into the Giants is the fact they showed a lot of heart and a lot of passion in this game, and they tried so hard, and I was very impressed. And honestly, if I sat down a rookie and said, here's the NFL, this is your first game, they went, so that Giants team's pretty good, yeah, they're obviously a contender. No, actually, they're dog shit, but for some reason they turned up and thought they were going to be the second coming of the 80s fucking Raiders. I have no idea why. So they turned up for that first time, but even then in the second, do you know what? If they had a little bit of quality and a quarterback with a brain, inside here, Daniel Jones, is a brain, and magic brain goes speaky, and speaky to body, and body do things with brain. That's what happens, right? You throw the ball where the receiver is, not where the opposition's cornerbacks frequent the area. I could throw to speaky, magic large man, wide receiver, he black, he catch ball. No, that's not good. I throw to shorter man over there, cornerback. The fuck are you doing? Interceptions. If I'd done any research for this podcast other than watching this game, I would have a magnificent stat right now about how many interceptions Daniel Jones has thrown since he started. I remember some fucking sweaty mail. You find it while I just fucking rinse on Giants fans for a minute. Now, all in all, I actually really like the Giants. I like the franchise. I loved them under Tom Coughlin. I really liked Eli Manning. He was a bit of a bust in the back end, but hey, 2 Super Bowls, and if you're a New York Giants fan, you're going to love him. Certified Hall of Fame. Sorry, but a 2-time Super Bowl champion has to go on the Hall of Fame. And definitely, will get himself a nice little statue outside of MetLife, because ultimately, that's the only thing that won't get injured if it goes inside the stadium. I mean, hell, we should bring back the Curse of the Michael Jackson statue outside Craven Cottage, put that outside MetLife, and that might actually have an opportunity of catching the ball.
All right. So,
what's your stats? Have you got it for me?
I've got it for you. Here it is. Well, this is one, and then here's the other one.
Brace yourself, Giants fans, because you're about to get a truth bomb.
Daniel Jones had 2 more costed turnovers in Monday night's 25-23 loss to the Buccaneers. It has increased his season total to 13 in 8 games.
13 turnovers in 8 games.
Yes.
Do you have a career statistic?
Yes. The turnover count for Jones is up to 35 in 20 career starts. A pace matched in the past 22 years by only former San Diego Chargers quarterback Ryan Leaf. And guess where Ryan Leaf is? Jail, because he beat up his girlfriend. Because he couldn't
that's
cut
not
it in the
strictly
NFL.
why he battered her, I'm sure.
Well, no, I'm saying he couldn't hack it in the NFL.
So he went home and beat the shit out of his girlfriend. Is that what you're implying? Oh, God damn it, I threw another interception. You know what? When I get home, you're going to get a real shit kicking, honey. This isn't that fucking old Honeymooner sketch, whatever it is. Bam, zoom, straight to the moon. That's Cameron Grimes, anyway. But ultimately, this 35 interceptions. That's my age. I am 35. You have thrown as many interceptions in 20 starts than I have lived in years. 35. What the fuck are you doing with your life?
Here's another great quote.
Interceptions than that. Fuck you.
Here's another great
all the Giants fans like, oh my God, fucking, I tell you what, bro, that Daniel Jones is going to be money, bro. He's going to throw for 4,000 yards off the tip of my bellend, bro. Shut the fuck up. He ain't no Joe Theismann, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? Hell, he ain't even fucking Chad Henne at this point. The state of it. Your quarterback sucks dick. He throws interceptions because he has the IQ of a Datsun honeybee that has had a CIA agent cave it in from the roof. The fucking state of your quarterback. The state of your offensive line as well. What is it made of?
Joe Judge, the new coach for the Giants, in his press conference.
I thought it was Jason Garrett.
No, Jason Garrett's their offensive coordinator.
He's not the head coach. That explains a lot in itself. Yeah, because he was a real fucking powerhouse at Dallas with Tony.
Exactly. Joe Judge said in his press conference, we are still unequivocally committed to Daniel. Daniel is our quarterback. What we have to do is just make sure we keep improving everything around him and that we coach every player the same way. I told Daniel on both times the play happened tonight. I just told him to stay patient with it, stay committed with it. We're going to need you down the stretch. We need you to make plays, and obviously on that final drive, he made a lot of big plays for us. We all have to hold ourselves accountable. The man next to us is accountable. But Daniel is our quarterback. Clearly put all the interception or all the turnovers that he has made are redundant.
What? No, they're fucking not. They speak volumes about the quality of the man's IQ. How many times do I have to fucking scream this before somebody listens? IQ is what makes a quarterback. Pick every single great quarterback in the history of the NFL, even the highly productive ones who aren't necessarily special. Guys like Joe Flacco, for instance, who in his prime was an excellent quarterback, despite not really being a lights-out elitist. He had a big cannon and an arm. All of them made correct decisions. The quarterback position, right? The reason it's normally the highest paid or the most highly regarded spot, at least in an NFL franchise, is because it requires the most intelligence. You have to understand so many things. And Daniel Jones is clearly not intelligent. Nice guy, clearly got a decent amount of athleticism, rolls out of the pocket quite nicely, can make yardage on the runs. Absolutely fine. He has some skills, but the problem is all those skills will pale in comparison if you have the brain that is the size of the 5-cent piece. And that's exactly what's happened here. Oh, look, Daniel, shiny, shiny. Ooh, that's basically what this is all about. It is a kid who has had too much sugar, too much orange juice. And people are, oh, yeah, well, you know, once he gets weapons around him, he'll get better. He'll improve. He's young. He'll get Sorry, the brain degrades, particularly when you're an American footballer. CTE is still a thing. Turns out he turned up with it before he even got hit. What the fuck are you doing, mate? Your interception rate is terrible. You are not a good quarterback. You make bad decisions. You had wide open receivers in a large proportion of this game. Now, the first half, right, it was almost like somebody had given him a brain transplant or at least given him like a boost. It was like when you first play a mobile game, like have some XP for free. And that's exactly what happened with Daniel Jones in this game. For the first half, he was like, oh, all of a sudden my brain's working. I have synapses. What's this? This thing called ears. They listen to things. I can hear things. I can hear the ball. I can see the ball. Oh my God, what's going on? His senses were heightened. And he made good decisions. And when they blitzed him, when they got through to him, he released the ball early. He dumped it off wherever it needed to be instead. And then what happens? He always tries to force the issue. Quarterbacks who have to force the issue more often than not get made to look very, very silly. The Giants put in a good performance, but ultimately, it's not good enough. It's not good enough.
Okay, but when you look at the alternative to Daniel Jones in New York right now, just stick with Jones. Because the alternative to Jones is Colt McCoy.
I mean, wasn't he at the Browns?
He was with the Browns and then the Redskins. He had a famous win with the Redskins beating the Cowboys.
Colt McCoy is what I like to call there for the, that's a guy who's turned up for the craft service. So that's a guy who they think, well, we can't afford fuck all else, so we'll get this guy in.
He probably
and this
signed for the veteran
literally, he is the equivalent of the vacant sign you see wherever you watch combat sports, where there's just that silhouette of a man. That's what Colt McCoy is. Stick him in there, he'll fill a hole. He won't be able to do anything in said hole, but he will fill at least said hole. This is bad coaching, bad management. Their general manager should be fired upon fired upon fired out of a rocket into the sun. Bad decisions make for a bad franchise. Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback. You know what? I keep hearing about how amazing Joe Burrow is. I will say one thing. He makes far less mistakes than this guy does. And he makes a lot too. And he's got a bad franchise around him as well. But he's still getting some semblance of results. The reality is, just because you are competitive against arguably one of the best teams in the NFC, if not Super Bowl contenders in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the fact is you still lost. Nobody's going to, at the end of the season, we managed to beat the spread against Tampa Bay. Congratulations. Enjoy your participation trophy. This is not a league for retards. This is a league for high IQ quarterbacks. Daniel Jones, sorry, mate, you have proven that you are not good enough.
Awesome.
It is awesome. Are we focusing on the podcast, or are we just chatting away with our familiar?
Yes, we're focusing on the podcast.
They suck. The Giants suck. They're not the Jets, but they suck.
But do they go out and try to get a quarterback in the draft?
They go out and try to get something that actually resembles a footballer. That would be nice. Name me a player on that team who is all pro. I'll wait.
Evan Ingram's all pro.
Ooh,
tight end.
He had a killer game.
I mean, he did have a good couple
1
of
and 7. I don't want to see 1 and 7 players on my all-pro team. All-star, whatever. Doesn't matter. What's he all-pro in? Eating Skittles?
No.
Do better. Your franchise sucks. Do better.
Yes, it does.
Do better. Get caught. Sorry. Have a look at the Denver Broncos if you want a fucking example. Since Super Bowl 50, do you know how many times the Denver Broncos have gone over 800? Over 500, excuse me? 0. Because they have had a plethora of dumb players, dumb quarterbacks. And everyone's like, oh my God, Drew Lock he beat Chargers. He's going to be amazing. Was it fun? Absolutely. Is he going to then fucking pile that into, 6 or 7 wins on a trot? Of course he fucking isn't. Because he hasn't got a high enough IQ. He is a classic case of this. And he's got a lot more weapons than New York has. You're only as good as your brain is at picking the opportunities on the field. You have to be almost robot-like in your assessment of your plays, understanding the playbook, understanding who are the greatest players in the NFL. All of them have one very key trait, whether they're on defense or offense, and that is they can assess and be proactive towards their opposition, calling audibles, changing their coverage, whatever that might pertain to, changing lanes, switching up, using pure athleticism, if you're a running back, for instance, jukes and turnarounds to get yourself into more room, yards after the catch. I don't see anyone in the New York Giants, especially in their offense, their defense played with a lot of heart. Sure, well done. I'm really impressed by that. I appreciate your heart. And let's be honest, we all thought you were going to get thumbed up the arse. And to be fair, you made a game of it. And it was a very entertaining game. But at the end of the season, I'm not going to say, oh, do you remember that Monday night football game where the Giants almost did something? No, absolutely not.
No.
Sorry, but there's a reason that you're 1-7. And it's not just because Saquon Barkley went down with an injury, because that's one player. You have not addressed any of your issues. You have had season upon season to address these issues. You consistently now start to rack up not just losing seasons, heavy loss seasons. You are heading essentially towards Jets territory. You look terrible. You are starting to really stink.
That is exactly why I said we need to just
One
put the
win,
Jets
and
and
that's
the
against the
Giants
Make-A-Wish
together.
Washington football team.
Let's make the Jets and the Giants just merge together, and that way we don't have to deal with both of them.
Then
We
we
can
have to
just deal
fucking
with.
bring in another franchise, whoopee, and then we'll have the Las Vegas Spittoons. I don't know, fucking,
Like
it pisses me off. I'm supposed to. The thing is, right? I'm on this podcast because frankly, I give honest opinions, and I know my shit to a certain extent. And I can tell you for a fact that this Giants franchise is going to do nothing until they bring in players and also players that are hungry, players that want it. If you're good enough, you show signs of that from the off. Daniel Jones has not. He had that comeback win, right, in his debut, and I think at that time it made them like 2-3, and then they proceeded to lose 7 of 9 or 10 games, and they sucked, and he threw interception after interception, and every game, dumbass New York fans who, no question, some of the most rabid sports fans in America, but they're so fucking dumb when it comes to things like this. Both of your NFL franchises suck. Nobody cares about your NHL franchises. You are hanging on to the Yankees for dear life because they still have a success and a pedigree. And ultimately, the Giants are a very famous, team. They are the footballing Giants, first and foremost. They are a famous franchise. Great players across the board. I'm sorry. Lawrence Taylor could probably come out of retirement and fucking play here. It's bad.
Eli Manning should come out of retirement and play.
Nah, he's got his money, mate. He's quite comfortable. I don't blame him. He won 2 Super Bowls, But look back at some of the players they had: Plaxico Burress and Rashad Mendenhall, players who could make plays. Guys who were. Do you know what the problem was? When the Giants won Super Bowls, admittedly against the spread a lot of the time. I think one of those they were 9-7 going into the playoffs. They catched fire at the right time, which is what the best teams always do. They catch fire at the right. See, there's fire. Catching fire. This background should never have been more relevant than it is, but it is. I don't want to see Daniel. I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm sick of hearing it. Oh, Joe Burrow, he could be amazing. He's a stud, but he lost. Yeah, but he's a stud. Yeah, but he lost. Yeah, but he's a stud. Yeah, but he lost. He lost. That's what Daniel Jones does. There is a culture of losing at the Giants, and nobody wants to address that because they are scared of the truth, that they suck dick. Your one win this season is against the Make-A-Wish Washington football team. I want Washington to do well because they are essentially a disabled child that deserves better. That's what they are. I want them to do well. Here you go, Timmy. Have some wins. We're very proud of you here. And then as soon as they get into the playoffs, fucking sit the fuck down. Get out of our fucking place, because every other team's going to be like, I will kill you. Whoever comes out of the NFC East is going to be violated in ways that, frankly, should not be allowed on PG-13 TV. This is, honestly, Fox Sports will have to pick it up because, as Republicans, they won't mind a good fucking arse raping on TV. Because whoever comes out of this, which is most likely going to be the Philadelphia fucking Eagles, you are going to get a wild card thumbing like you have never seen before, and it will not be fit for public consumption. And the Giants will be sitting there going, oh, that could have been us if Daniel Jones had just played slightly better. No, it won't be you, because Daniel Jones is shit. Next, please. Oh, wait, there is no next, because that was the last game, thank God.
Yep, that was it.
Now shut it down so I can talk about some real fucking sport.
Oh, right.
By the way, Rob Gronkowski, nice to see you doing well. That is a alarming fact for teams going forward. If Rob Gronkowski is starting to click with Tom Brady, look out.
There was hold on a second. I just saw something about that too.
He hasn't DDT'd someone on a dance floor again, has he?
No, he hasn't DDT'd anybody on a dance floor.
He's not getting inside Hell in the Cell, is he? That'll be
No.
the main event of WrestleMania. He's not going to face Roman Reigns, is he, for the Universal title?
No. Jesus Christ.
Are we wrapping this thing up, or are you just going to act like you're stoned for the rest of the evening?
No, I'm trying to find it.
Get on with it, you fucking
Dadgummit.
tart.
Okay, never mind.
Seriously, if I wasn't so fucking entertaining, this podcast would have already been shut down.
Oh, wow. That's messed up.
It's messed up, but it's honest. And just like the New York Giants, you have to accept that without working parts and moving parts that entertain, nobody cares about your fucking franchise.
All right, folks. If you have a comment that you would like to say to either me
I
or
won't read
Mr.
it, but
Nick,
leave it if you like. I don't read anyone's comments. You're all dickheads as far as I'm concerned.
please leave a like.
If you're a Bucs fan, hello. Must be nice supporting a team that's, good. That must be nice. Also, Brady's great. All you haters that don't like Brady, cry about it. 6 Super Bowls and a mansion that's quite literally the size of a small African nation.
Don't forget about his very hot Victoria's Secret model wife.
Exactly. So cry about it when you're next in Walmart, you sweaty cunts. Cry about it.
Subscribe,
cry about it. I don't even
comment.
like the Patriots. I never supported the Patriots. But do you know what I like? Success, brilliance, excellence. Do you know why people love Jordan, love LeBron, loved Kobe so much, God rest his soul? Because they are winners, because they are excellence, because they are the elite of the elite. Not that elite. That elite is fucking gay, AEW fans. I'm talking about proper AEW. You've got more muscles than the Young Bucks, mate. You should replace them. It's as simple as that. They are a joke. Balding buck and road warrior, but go fuck yourself. Anyway, this isn't a wrestling podcast. This is the NFL. I like elitism. So if you want to fucking rant about how much I hate the Giants and blah, 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 I don't hate the Giants. I love the Giants. I want them to do better. I just have no time for shit teams. Leave your comments below. I'm not going to read them. He will, because he's a fucking moron. But I'm not going to fucking read them because I don't care what you think. All they care about is watching good football. And the only reason I watch this game is because I like the Buccaneers and I still fancy them going to the Super Bowl because even when they play like shit, they pick up wins.
Follow us on Twitter, Sly Fox Sports Pod.
Don't follow us. Well, follow us on Twitter. Don't follow me, though. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Okay, then.
Although, send me some money. PayPal.me/HarbingerPW. Send me some money. Seriously. One day, this podcast is going to be really entertaining and people are going to go, they're going to be like, oh my God, that fucking Aeron is well funny, mate. He's so angry. He's like the Jim Cornette of American football. And they're going to go back through all the back catalogue of these things when we only had 10 viewers. And they're going to say, do you know what? Let's send him some money. And then I'll be rich. I'll be rich for being a snotty piece of shit. And I will not give 2 fucks.
All right, folks. Have a great night.
Enjoy yourselves.